one thing Dereck is very good at is selling it. So selling it the way it's meant to be sold.
Like I said, I love Del. I do love Del.
So let's talk about the main event.
Yeah.
No seriousness. Both fighters are extremely confident. They're not giving away any sort of like weakness of how they feel who's gonna win. What give me the strength from both fighters from that point of view.
You know, I think it's difficult to pick a weakness on either of them. You know, Josh is someone who moves forward, is a big puncher, throws a lot of good combinations, whereas Regis picks the punches more. But is also a good puncher. So from styles make fights, and such a classic expression, and I always cringe every time I use it and hear it. But this one is really, you know, you have that sort of guy who lays off and then comes in and comes back and forth, and then you've got the other one who is, you know, he's very, very, very good at, you know, Josh is very good at pressing. You know, he comes forward. We saw it in the Martin fight. You know, Martin, he didn't get into the first gear. He didn't let him get into first gear. You know, he overwhelmed him. So, you know, hence the name Tartan Tornado. On the other hand, Prograis, the Flanagan fight, the early rounds, I was like, what's all the hype about? And then suddenly turned it on. And then the Dereck fight, he didn't wait. I mean, he took, and Dereck, you know, was many people said the best in the weight class. They said it was their pick for the tournament, and he took him to the cleaners. Absolutely took him to the cleaners. So you see the levels.
You think it's going to be totally different from the other southpaw we've just witnessed against Luke Campbell, against Lomachenko?
Yeah.
Because we've been having a lot of like top elite level southpaws fighting each other.
Yeah. It's a good point. Yeah, good point made. Yeah, it's a very different fight. Yeah. It's an absolute 50-50 on razor edge fight. Whereas I think Campbell, with all due respect to Luke, who's a great guy and a great fighter, was never going to be near a 50-50.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, you know, whenever you get 50-50 fights, or in any sport a 50-50 event is always exciting.
You think Josh Hill has got the edge because it's based... I know he's not in Glasgow, but it's based in London.
Don't read into that. I've seen that too many times. But people, there's a lot of different things that can come out of that. A fighter can rest on that. It doesn't. Some fighters react better when they fight away because they have to they have to go on the road. You know. So others, when they're at home, they get comfortable. You know. On the other hand, this is not Josh's home. You know. So Josh is a Scotsman. You know. Yeah. So. Wouldn't be a popular decision to go out and announce on the streets of Edinburgh or Glasgow that this was a home fight for him. Nah.
Yeah. 10 days later, one of my favourite fighters in the world, Inoue against Donaire.
The beast.
Has Donaire got a chance, would you say?
Donaire's got a chance in any fight because he's got the power. He seems to really have made the weight very well and easily, and he's such a great fighter, such a great puncher, and it's just, you know, real pleasure to work with character. Same with Inoue. It's a fight I just can't wait to see. It's one I think people are going to be very sure. If people think that Inoue's going to go in there and blow them away, forget it. Donaire knows how to use a ring. He knows how to cut people off. You know, I'm not saying Rodriguez didn't, but Donaire's simply been around the block so many times, and he's won more things than I've had at dinners. You know, going to be a really interesting fight.
I look forward to it. There's obviously been talks with the World Boxing Series with the financial things like that. Is that going to affect? Are we going to expect more of you guys next season?
Yeah,
And
no,
if
I mean,
so, what sort of
the
divisions are you looking
The
at?
financial issues was actually nothing to do with the World Boxing Super Series. It was a company which had bought the rights for the World Boxing Super Series that went bust at the end of last year. So we were relying on money coming in, and they went bust. So for us, it was a big issue at the time, but it was solved pretty quick, in about a month by the shareholders, and they're very intent. You know, we're in the middle of planning for season 3, so you know, all good.
What sort of divisions are we looking at?
Flies, super flies, maybe catch weight between the flies, middleweights, light heavies.
Middleweights?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be difficult because of well, it depends on what sort of middleweights you bring to the table.
The best ones, but they, you
Well,
know,
the Canelos,
yeah, but
the
nobody's
Chicharos.
boxing at light heavy now, you know. So if you look, I wanted to do middleweights originally, and the Canelo is now boxing at light heavy. Golovkin is very settled at super mid. So you know, but who knows? Our partner in the US is DAZN. Maybe we can find a solution there. You know, we'll see. You know, but middleweights is now open. It's a great weight class. I love the middleweights. I was a Hagler fan. So.
Okay. What sort of names would you like to have in the middleweights then?
Oh, you're asking me crazy questions now. Bloody hell. You know, I wouldn't go into names. I always go into what I can have. You know, so I look at a weight, and me and you will say, right, love the heavyweights. So I look at the heavyweights, right, I've got big issues there. There's already fights signed up, massive money, so you'd have to look at a different model. Forget the heavyweights. Then I look at let me take the super mids, right? Super mids at the moment are so disfragmented, it'll be very difficult to put together. You always have to look at where the fighters are. Are they the type of fighters that will do a tournament, you know? And these are all little things that you put question then, and in the end you have to see which weight classes you can actually do. It's easy to say, oh yeah, I like that weight class, but then you'll see half are with this promoter and half with that promoter, then you know those promoters don't work together. It's very difficult to put together, so yeah, that's okay. There's enough weight classes, 17 weight classes, there's enough to work with.
Okay, well, fair enough.
The main thing is we get things. Right, it's gone.
Yeah, they've still gone. Yeah.
The main thing is you get best versus the best.
Yeah,
That's what we've done season
that's
1
why I
and
want
2.
you guys to do well,
Season
because
1 and 2, you know,
yes,
that's all we try and do.
yes,
Just best versus the best.
Well, you guys might have caused a little bit of a problem for Eddie Hearn. Callum Smith, for example, you paid him so well that now
He told me that the whole time.
he expects.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but Eddie pays his fighters well as well. But yeah, of course, if you're in a Champions League style tournament, you are going to get paid well.
Are other boxers expecting that sort of payment, or you guys going to have to temper it down now? Now
we have to look at always look at the weight class and see certain weights, of course, are different money to other weights. You know, a heavyweight's going to be different money to minimum weight. You know.
Why did you guys do the cruiserweight straight after again?
Very simple. I knew that Usyk was going up, and I could get all 4 belts, at least 3 belts. You know. So if you look at the fights we're getting now, and a lot of scandal around it, but Glavatsky, Bridis was an amazing fight.
Yeah.
Amazing fight.
Well, thanks for your time. This is give me the opportunity to see you for the first time and first of many, and then all the best on the October 26th and 10 days later.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, yeah.